Well, the video I was going to record today is completely out the window now that Sony has decided to do probably one of the dumbest things it could have possibly decided in the current gaming economy that we're living through right now. If you are unaware, Sony has just announced today that they are planning on re- being done with printing disc as of January 2028, meaning that from then on, they are not going to do any physical disc releases, and that new games will be available via PlayStation stores and retailers for digital formats, meaning either you have to go and buy it on the PlayStation store or you go to Walmart or Target and you have to go buy a code and then download the game off the code. It's like the worst decision they could have made in regards to this. There are so many people across the world who physical format is the only way that they play video games. Right? I think about even just in my immediate area, you drive 30 minutes down the road anywhere in any direction, and you're in a community that does not have widespread access to internet. So for them downloading a new game, let's say GTA 6 comes out, it's 500 gigabytes. You know, that person will spend 3 weeks downloading the game before they even got a chance to play it. And that's if the weather's nice and the satellite internet or whatever they have isn't being impacted by this. For some people, having access to physical versions of these games is the way that they're able to play it, which is disheartening to see, especially because I know that this is less of a financial burden more than it is just the fact that they know they can cut some costs, they can control their market a little bit more and save money if they go this way. I think that's what bothers me more than anything, is knowing that this is not one of those decisions where we're struggling to make ends meet and we're trying to get back to getting a net positive. No, they switched from going the cartridges early to disc because it was cheaper to produce a disc than it is for you to do a cartridge. That's why Nintendo is like the only gaming console nowadays that does a cartridge, because everybody knows it's cheaper to do a disc. It is easier to do a disc. And so PlayStation doing this here is strictly it's strictly just the fact that when they build this next PlayStation 6, they're not going to put a disc drive in it. They're going to cut costs in that. They're going to do other things to try and fill the space for it. I think this is dumb. There's already been thousands on just the PlayStation blog where this was announced. There's already been over 2,000 comments of everybody saying, no, this is dumb. This is a stupid idea. We shouldn't let them do this. This is a bad idea. I'm like, when 2,000 people on your blog post, and on a post that came out earlier this morning, on a post that came out today, for people to be doing that, that's not good for you. That is not good news at all. Because then that means that people are really logging in and making an account just so they can tell you how dumb of an idea this is. Because it's a stupid idea. Hopefully people, with all these videos that myself and everybody's making, hopefully, we can combat this problem, but it's not looking great. But on top of that, it continues to get worse for those who are on the PlayStation 3 stores and Vita stores. If you are one of those guys who consistently play on those, they are shutting down the online stores for real. It's done. They're shutting down the stores for PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita in July of 2027. Which, I mean, I don't blame them because they can't last forever. It just sucks that it's just happening anyway. It sucks that they have to do that. It's just like, ooh, Sony chose a real good time to drop a bomb like that. I mean, the only thing we can do is we can boycott future releases. For example, they're test driving this with GTA 6. If you don't know this already, this is already another thing that really sucks. GTA 6 is not going to be a disc game, GTA 6, is releasing as a code in the box that will allow you to preload it before the game comes out, just like everybody else. Sidebar about that, I'm 90% sure that GTA is only that Take-Two and GTA is only doing this so that way they don't get leaked. Nobody gets the game early. Everybody gets the game on Thursday, the 19th. That way there's nobody who's posting gameplay early that isn't isn't one of those companies that we're working with an embargo who's specifically going to promote this game. If you're not one of those people, you don't get this game early. And I think that's the reason why. But part of the things that's going to help with this is boycotting things like that. Don't buy the GTA 6 version, physical version. Don't support that method. If they're just going to give you a code in the box and you don't like that, don't buy it. Pull the same stuff that you did when Nintendo dropped their game key cards, where everybody went and boycotted game key cards and said they were the worst thing ever on the planet for physical gaming. And there's going to be newer games that, as we continue into this year, into next year, that they're going to continue to try this out and monitor it to see if it's really going to be financially successful for them. In those regards, you gotta show them with your money. You gotta show them, hey, we are not buying physical versions like this if you're going to put a code in the box. We want a physical disc to go with our games. This is not something we're okay with. This is a problem, and we're not going to support it otherwise. And then, all of these videos, all of these blog posts, all these news outlets, comment, share, let them know, hey, this is dumb. This is a stupid idea. We don't like this. Get rid of this. Go back to what it was. We don't care. We'll pay, if they're like, oh, but we're going to have to charge you, $5 more. If that's not a problem for you, communicate that, right? Like if a game comes out at $70, digitally it's $60, but it's $70 physically, some people will be okay with paying that. Nintendo's doing the same thing. I believe they just did it with Star Fox. Star Fox is $10 more if you buy it physically to account for the cartridge sale versus digitally where you get it a little bit of a discount, which for some people is okay. For me, I mean, that makes sense, right? You're paying for the physical version, so you're paying a little bit more just so you can get it on a cart. But overall, this is a bad take on this. I would have rather them continue to do the disc system, kind of like the game key cards, because if most of you didn't know already, the discs don't have all the game on it anyway. You have to download the game onto the system anyway. You don't play it off the disc. And so either way, I think that this is the beginning of a very, very bad string of announcements that Sony and the other gaming industries are going to start doing, just kind of using this AI situation as kind of like a blanket term to be like, oh, due to market conditions, we're going to change, and do things for the worse. But enough of my babbling. What do you guys think about this whole discless future that we have for PlayStation? Are you in support? Do you think this is a bad idea? Let me know down in the comments, and be sure to share. If you know that this is going to be a problem for you, be sure to share with anybody you know. Of course, we'll see you on hopefully a much lighter note of an episode.